Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Lucas Hess, and I wanted to introduce you to this project I've been working on. I recently was able to sit down with this guy, Alex Charpentier, or Rusty, as he was originally introduced to me as. But Alex is a local musician. He's actually a student at Fort Lewis College as well. He's working on his senior recital of violin. So that's really been kind of consuming the guy's life, and I've been trying to meet up with him and just talk to him a little bit how it's coming, just kind of get some insight on him as well. He's kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to music. I'll be talking to him about violin, and then all of a sudden he'll be talking to me about drum beats, and then he's playing the piano, and then I mean, not to mention the guy even plays stand-up bass for local music acts, and he's played stand-up bass for the jazz ensemble on campus, different orchestras on campus. The guy's really just kind of all over the place as far as musically. He even teaches over at a local music shop, violin. So I kind of just wanted to get to know Rusty a little bit better about him and his music, and seeing what it is about music that kind of drives him there or drives him insane or whatever it is. And well, see for yourself, guys. Hope you enjoy.
I've been playing violin since I was a really young kid because my dad was a teacher, but we didn't really get along. So, well, we got along, but not when we were playing. Violin was therefore like in my life for a long time, but kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, I didn't actually start liking music at all until high school when I picked up guitar, played guitar, and I think even when I came to college, I wasn't into violin. I was just into guitar. And
so when did you start playing violin?
I started playing violin at like maybe 5 or 6, like really young, but I was pretty terrible at it pretty much my whole life, and didn't really practice or like play, you know, in groups. I played in the high school orchestra, but that was a joke. It was fun at first. I think it took. My professor was kind of a hard ass about it. She was. You know, she expected me to practice, and I was like resistant at first, and I would go skiing every weekend and partying and whatever, and I don't know, I guess eventually I was just like, oh, I'll give it a shot, and once I actually started doing it, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and it just kept getting more and more fun as you get better, I think. Yeah, it's tough because the stress level isn't only about music sometimes. It's like when there's an expectation on you to perform, that's I think where stress comes from. And it's not so much like that playing music causes stress, it's like performing music with an expectation for quality is kind of scary and stressful. And that's probably the causer of stress. It's nice when you can be really prepared and like, you know, go into performing knowing you're going to do well, and that's like when it's really fun because you feel good about it before you go, and then you perform it and you feel good, and it goes well because you're prepared. And I think that's what feels really good, is like if you do really well and you know it, and it's like, all right, you know, did really awesome, and that feeling kind of stays with you and you want more of it, and maybe that's what like causes people to chase music, or like why I might need music, like. roped in to do bass because it's not like I seeked out to learn bass. Even from the first time I picked one up, my high school band director said, "Hey, I need a bass player and you play violin," and that's kind of similar. Like, we played bass for the jazz band, and I was totally horrible, but and didn't really know how to play or even know how to read the music. But I tried it, and that's where I first got like the kind of experience of where I said, "Oh, I play bass," and then I came out here and I said, that's why I'm careful with what I say I play. It's because I
talk yourself into an instrument.
Yeah, I know. I talked myself into a band. Like I told a friend, "Oh yeah, I play a little bass," and she played mandolin, and she got me in this bluegrass band. And the first practice was just, oh man, it was embarrassing. It was horrible. I couldn't play at all, but they somehow kept me, and I eventually learned. And it's been 3 years, and now I'm playing in the jazz band, and I played in a salsa band, and played in all kinds of stuff. So
you're pretty used to playing in front of people. That's not, you don't have any shaky feet, shaking in your boots before you go out and play in front of anybody ever anymore, or is it?
No, I still do, especially on violin. Is what makes me the most nervous. I think it's because it's so maybe personal and it's really self-expressive, and it's like singing in that you're putting yourself out there, and you're on the edge constantly of it just takes a little too much pressure, misangle of bow or whatever to make a squeaky nasty sound, or just the slightest half millimeter off of a note and it's like wrong. So it's a delicate instrument, and and people play it so well that there's such a high expectation for how it should sound. So that's the one that still gets me nervous. Bass, you never play solo bass. You're always playing to all kinds of music require bass, so you're just kind of back there holding it down. And that's where I feel really comfortable. It's like, I'm driving the whole band, but no one in the audience knows it. That's kind of nice. I never feel nervous playing bass. Nor guitar, really. Anything that's kind of hidden, where you're kind of protected, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And are there any other projects? I know you have your senior recital on violin coming up.
Yeah.
Anything else in the chute? Anything
Yes.
on the way?
There's a ton of stuff. It's so busy. The senior recital is December 9th, and that's going to be my own show, and it's kind of intended to be the culmination of like everything I've learned at Fort Lewis, which has been a lot. But I still kind of feel like sometimes it's maybe not, like if you were going to put me up next to some other guy, freshman at some other school, he might outplay me or whatever. But I feel like I started kind of at a low level and worked really hard to get up to where I am. So I feel good about it. I hope that that'll be reflected in the response to the show. It's going to be a 45-minute just me playing with different arrangements of accompanists and stuff. My bluegrass band's going to play. That's the other project. We're in the studio right now too. We were in the studio the week before Thanksgiving, and we're going to be in the studio this week. I'm missing school 2 days to go play bass. We're going to try and get an album out for April. But we got to get some pre-recorded stuff out now so we can send it to the festivals, and they'll hopefully hire us for the summer too. So that's a big project. It's fun. I like it. I think I'll keep doing it.